Hello and welcome along then to TGP2, to the TGP series. We're here in Austria, sunny Austria, for round number 3 in what is season 28 of the TGP2 season. We've got 2 great races coming up to you tonight, including a first for the TGP series, racing around the Bahrain short track. Is our second race of the night tonight. I'm joined in the commentary box by TGP1 world champion, former world champion, and TGP2 commentary veteran, Dan the Man. Welcome along, and welcome to another great night of racing, we hope.
Hello, Mike. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight with this first ever 50% race around Bahrain Short. It should be something very different, and should hopefully produce a really good race.
Yeah, we hope so. As you said, a step into the unknown for TGP tonight as well, and also racing round Bahrain Short as well. That's something that has been done in No Pain, No Reindeer before in the past. Everyone's favourite winter pastime for the TGP series. Dan, I never had much success in that, but I think you were probably more successful than I am over the past in that one.
I think I also never really had much success in that as well. I always seem to get involved in an instance in that.
Probably with me, I imagine, I would have thought. Knowing me, knowing you. Well, we got just over 10 minutes left of the session. We got a good lap with Blair Grills. We were just following that lap, actually. He's just popped up into P3. It was very close at the top of the standings up until a little while ago when Joe Sayer put in a fantastic time, which put him 4 attempts ahead of anyone else. But Cena has just put himself into P2 in the Red Bull to join our Ferrari driver on the provisional in the front row provisionally at the moment. So if you missed the racing last week, we had 2 cracking races actually. We had the first race of the season decided on the last lap of the race. Brilliant stuff in Australia, and a wet Abu Dhabi, Dan. A wet Abu Dhabi. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, it was really, it was a race of survival. There was a big instance at the start and instance all throughout, but at the same time we had some good overtakes and some really good racing. And in the end, it was Magic Buchanan who won that race. He really, some would say, he should have won the first race as well, but he lost it on his own, didn't he? Or he was in the lead of the race and fell way out of position. So really, he should have won both of the races last week. He won just one of them, and he's not even in the lead of the championships. Chris Johnson is in the lead. He took full advantage of the error that he made in Australia and won the race, and then had a decent result in Abu Dhabi as well. But he's only 1 point ahead of Magic Buchanan.
Yeah, and Chris Johnson's struggling a little bit in this qualifying session so far, you have to say, Dan, down in P7, and it's his teammate who has taken the provisional pole spot up into P1, F1 Baza, at the top of the standings at the moment. We're watching Mr. John in the Racing Point coming to the final corner now. Is this going to be an improvement for John from P8? Is this going to push him up the order anymore? It's not. He actually lost time in that last sector. We saw him running a little bit wide, actually, in the penultimate corner. We've got Neljak on that lap. I think we've got Joe Sayer, who's just done a quicker lap, actually.
He's just set a 103.8, just improved his lap time. Chris Johnson invalidated his last time on his last lap, so he's had to come in the pits.
And we've got Alex Zaffer on a run at the moment as well. Into the penultimate corner is the Renault driver. Just one corner to go, and I think he's just invalidated that one. So unfortunately for him, it's not going to be an improvement. And I don't think he's going to get an option to do a lap after this one as well. So it's going to have to come back into the pits then for the Renault driver. Mr. John's finding some time out there through the first split. His second run on this set of tyres. How is he looking through the middle sector? He's about 3 attempts up, Dan. This could be an improvement for John. Oh, it would have been.
Oh, and as you say that, he invalidates, because he got that podium as well, didn't he, in the wet last week, so wants to build on that. He's going to have to do another lap if he wants to improve his position here. Of course, Alex Zafra won the race. He did actually cross the line first in Abu Dhabi, but had the penalty for corner cutting and was cruelly denied the victory. So hopefully he can bounce back as well. The Renaults have been showing really good pace so far this season.
Yeah.
Tom Penguin in 10th.
Yeah, so Tom Wengen obviously trying to build on the form he had the latter part of last season in TGP2. Some great races in the latter part, including that brilliant podium that he got in Baku as well, which was an absolutely brilliant moment, one that we definitely didn't expect to see. Nailjack, meanwhile, Alex Coates then through the penultimate corner. He's improving in the McLaren at the moment. Is he going to improve on P9? He runs a little bit wide at last corner, but I think he's got away with it. And up to the line then, the McLaren driver does improve, but it's only one place to go into P8, and he now moves out of his way to his teammate's way, who's starting a lap himself. So Dan, let's run on board with Blair Grills. Talk us through a lap around Spielberg.
He's just gone through the first corner, as you say, got out the way of a teammate, then you're going uphill here, breaking into this very, very tight turn 2 or turn 3. We'll call it turn 2.
I prefer turn 2.
Yeah, this is the motorbikes, isn't it, who come through the corner. The DRS down here on this next part of the straight, and then once again, heavy braking. This is where you enjoyed doing a few moves in the final TGP one. It was a few weeks ago. Anyway.
Great overtaking
spot. It is a good overtaking spot, yeah, but this is a long left-hander. I don't really like this part of the track, but it's fun to watch nonetheless, and he's down on his lap time at the moment for turn 6 and 7, and in fact I think he's backed out of it.
I think you're right, I think he has.
Yeah. He has backed out of it.
We had Cena, who was out there on a lap, but he's invalidated his time. I don't know if I've missed something, but we haven't seen Parser out on the track yet. Dan.
Oh, Blair Grills, sorry, he just spun as he was coming into the pit lane. Lucky not to destroy his car there, but yeah, have we not seen Parser come out as well?
Yeah, we haven't yet.
Yeah, that's very strange. Yeah, Parser and Cena took part in the TGP1 races in Austria at the very end of last season and showed decent pace. In fact, I wonder if Parser might have a polyban.
I wondered that.
I think he may well have polyban. But considering the pace he showed in TGP1 when he raced here, it'll be fun to watch him come through the field.
Yeah, we've got championship leader Chris Johnson on a hot lap at the moment, coming through the final corner. Can he improve on P7? He's 9 tenths off the pace at the moment. He cuts that gap, 2 tenths off, 7 tenths found on his previous personal best, and that pushes now both the Mercedes into the top 3. That's a bit more like it from the team leading the Constructors' Championship.
It is indeed. They've got Cena now about to cross the second sector line. There's a bit of it. You get a flag ahead of him. It's just gone in. It's clean again. And it's Alex after it went off. But Cena avoids it. This is obviously going to be very close. It's a short track. So the lap times will be very close as he throws it into the penultimate corner. Doesn't get a corner because of validation for that, surprisingly. He's a bit more clean through the final corner. And he goes... Well, he's actually off. He doesn't improve his time. He stays in 4.
Yeah, relatively similar lap time there from the Red Bull driver, so he'll appreciate his consistency, but what he won't appreciate is the fact that he hasn't moved himself any further up the order. Magic Poop Cannon had a lap time invalidated a couple ago. Sir Tom Penguin, while we've been speaking, has jumped up to P8, which has pushed Alex Coates now just on the outside of just inside the top 10, sorry. Mr. John, man in 11th, and the man finding time at the moment through the last corner then, up to the line. The Racing Point driver, is this going to be improvement on 11th? It is. It's P10. Pushes Alex Coates now out of the top 10, but that will give him, of course, that important free tyre choice.
And Sayre Sports Pit, he bailed out of that previous lap as well because he was losing time. Of course, around here, because the lap's so short, you can get really 4 runs. I think you can actually get 5 runs in if you really wanted to. Around here, so you can set as many laps as that. Cena, though, well, Cena was on another lap on the same set of tyres, but then invalidated at the penultimate corner. So he's and he would have improved as well. Yeah, I think he would have gone to 3rd, I think.
Yeah, he would have moved himself up a place. So he'll be ruining that one. Meanwhile, we've got Blair Grills just coming around the last corner. He'll be hoping for a bit of better luck on this one, and trying not to spin and coming into the pits as well. Trying not to spin at all, I would have thought, for the McLaren driver through turn number 1 then. We've got this long climb up the hill now. The trees crest the top of the hill, but that won't be what Blair Grills is worrying about. He's worrying about his braking zone for turn number 2. And he's finding time, 2 tenths in that first sector. Blistering pace from the McLaren driver through the first sector, but he's still got 2/3 of the lap to go, and he's still got about 3 tenths of a second to find on Joe Sayre alone. But he has got some traffic in front of him, which looks like a Red Bull. I think that's perhaps Cena, who we're anticipating will be boxing, but that will be his qualifying over, thanks for doing that additional lap, which he got invalidated.
Yeah, there's no way he'll get round again. But Blair Grills, I think he's quicker than Joe Sayre at this point.
He's got a bit of traffic. He's going to have to hope they get out of the way. They parted the ways for him. It was like Moses. But is this lap going to be biblical? As he comes to the final corner then, Blair Grills, he's taken too much curb. And that will be his qualifying over and done with. It was looking so good. He parted the seas, but in the end, Judas Iscariot at the last corner caught his bluff.
Yeah, you do not want to take that curb like that at that particular final corner.
Is Cena going for another run?
Avoid it completely. Is he? I think he is. Yeah, this is 4th lap on the soft tyres. They're going to be destroyed come the start of the race.
He's found time. I mean, he's found some time in the first sector, but that's not really tyre dependent. Either the Red Bull team have found some magic coating to put on those tyres, or he is going to leave himself very vulnerable in the race. Locks a tyre as well, going down into turn number 3. And this is balmy. This is balmy from the Red Bull driver. I don't get this.
Yeah, I can't understand this either. Let's see what he's like in the second sector. Well, again, he's marginally up, but really only marginally. It wouldn't even get him into 3rd place, really, at this point.
You can just see the understeer, though, can't you, Dan? Through every corner, he's struggling.
Yeah, but I don't really know why. Unless it's a wet race, that's all I can think of. Perhaps it's a wet race. Somehow he's just got away with that. Crosses the line, and he lost the 10th anyway, so he doesn't improve. But yeah, maybe, unless I'm not sure what the weather's going to be for the race. Perhaps if it's wet, he's just continuing to just put the laps in.
Maybe so. Meanwhile, further up the order, we've got Bazza and Joe just behind each other on the track. Bazza not finding any time through the middle sector. He's a little bit scruffy there. The Mercedes driver has only got a 10th of a second to find. Meanwhile, Joseph Sayre further back. We're not sure if he's finding time or not, meanwhile...
He did find time. He found time. He was just under a 10th quicker, so he may improve. Can Bazza improve?
Lost it.
He invalidates. Here comes Joe.
He's lost it too.
Oh.
It's down to Chris Johnson, who's just coming through the first sector at the moment, and he's dead level with his own personal best.
Wow. Well, that was a nice achievement there for Chris to do that. Let's see what Cena's doing. I think Cena's backing off this time, so he's not going to be able to go again. That will be it for Cena. See if anybody else is improving further down the field. Looks like Blair Grills could also improve here. We'll have to see what Magic Poop Cannon can do as well. No, Magic Poop Cannon is backed off as well, so it's over for him in 2nd place in the championship.
Yep. All eyes on Chris Johnson. He's just gone a little bit wide in that corner, and he's lost his time as well. I think Joe's got it in the bag, Dan. I think this is it.
Yeah, and Blake Hills has backed off. So, well, what an anticlimax. We're not really seeing much improvements at all at the end of the session.
No, I don't think Breeze has just come to the line, but I think he's invalidated his time already. Mackie to the line. He's finding a little bit of time. Can we see him jump up the order from P13? He does. He gets into the top 10. Great lap from the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, good stuff there for AlphaTauri as well, of course. We've just got one driver tonight because Dom is not with us. Of course, he is really, you would have to say, one of the big championship contenders, missing a night of racing. So he'll be hoping that they don't pull away too much. But, well, at least your record is not going to come under threat in terms of most amounts of TGP2 wins tonight, Mike.
Well, yeah, I'm very grateful for Dom Smith's absence. Obviously, he's only 2 off my record. Is it 2? Yeah.
I think it is 2, yeah. It's 29 to 31. Yeah,
that's it, because we've got 60 between us. I don't know if any of you watching didn't know, Dom Smith and I, 60 wins between us. Well, as Dan said, a bit of an anticlimactical end to qualifying, but it shouldn't detract from the fact we actually have quite a close order. The top 10, Dan, covered by 6,000th of a second over a second.
That's what we like to see, and of course the Bahrain quali should be very close as well, shouldn't it? Because that is also a very short track. We might get a lap under a minute there.
That's a good point, actually. I hadn't really thought of that. Are we going to get a lap under a minute? I guess we probably are, aren't we? Because...
Hopefully. Because I think you can do a 57. 57 is something that really, like, the quick guys can do. So, hopefully we'll get a few under a minute.
Yeah.
But Sports gets pole with a 1:03.8 this time around.
Yeah, let's give you a rundown of our grid then for the Austrian Grand Prix. Sports on pole position with that 1:03.8. Bazza joining him on the front row. Chris Johnson, our championship leader, in P3 with Cena in P4. Magic Poop Cannon, our championship current second place in championship in P5. Alex Zaffro in P6. Blair Grills in the McLaren P7. Blown Wheelnut in P8. Indecisive Mackie, that good lap time at the end, putting him in P9, and Sir Tom Penguin rounding out the top 10 with Mr. John Nowjack, Angel vs. Death, Stereogram, Parser, Breezer, and someone else finishing our order. Sorry to the someone else if you're listening.
That's Joe's second pole in a row. He got pole in Abu Dhabi as well, but then could not convert it into a decent result in the race. Hopefully he can do different this time. And of course, in the first race in Australia, he actually qualified on the front row, was second, but had that 5th-place penalty. So he's certainly got quality pace, Jose, this season.
Yep, has taken a race win in a good few years, seasons, I should say. Sorry, for Joe Sayer, our two-time champion in TGP2, and he's on a bit of a comeback this season, and he's relishing the challenge in that Ferrari again, and he'll be hoping for a good result, I'm sure. Dan, the drivers are almost ready. Who's your winner?
I think you've probably got to watch Chris Johnson in this one. I think he should have the pace, knowing how he can drive around here. I think he's the one to watch, to be honest.
Well, we're going to find out. We've got 3, 4, 5 lights for the My World Austrian Grand Prix, and they're underway. They went away quickly, and Joe's got a bit of wheel spin off this line there, and that could leave him open to attack from Bazza, who tucks in behind. Cena thinks about an attack into turn number 1 as well, and actually clips the back of Bazza. So we've got a yellow flag further back as Alex has fallen out of the race. Disaster for McLaren, but Cena has got ahead of Chris Johnson. On the run-up now to turn number 2, are we going to see any moves further back? Cena's certainly thinking about it, but he backs out of it in the end. We've got Poop Cannon running very late with the safety car being called.
So hopefully that's not going to cause any incidents, and as I say, that Chris Johnson gets a 5-second penalty because I think Poop Cannon hit the back of him when the safety car was deployed, so that penalty will be removed. I'm not sure what happened to Nell Jack. I didn't see the incident, but obviously at turn 1, a big crash.
We lost Kim as well.
And Kim is also out, and the safety car, well, it came out at a very awkward time, didn't it? Just as they were all entering the braking zone for the second corner, trying to find the positions, and then had to immediately back out of it all. But so will anybody pit at this stage, I wonder?
That's a good question you pose there. Parza made up 4 places on that opening lap, so a good result for me. We saw this in TGP2 last season though, didn't we, Dan? We saw some of the drivers pit early on lap 1, and we had a very mixed bag at the end, but Sean did in the end come through to win, and we got Chris Johnson who comes into the pits. Now unfortunately for Chris, this will mean he has to serve his penalty, so he is going to lose 5 seconds regardless, unfortunately for him. We've got Stereogram also in the pits, but they seem to be the only 2.
I'm surprised by that, I have to say, but yeah, I suppose it's the best option really, isn't it, for Chris Johnson in terms of saving the penalty, and he'll put the medium tyres on and will go to the end of the race. Just seeing what tyres everybody else is on at this stage. We've only got Mr. John on the mediums and Breeze on the mediums. Everybody else is on soft. Stereogram now puts the mediums on as well. Stereogram's changing the front wing as well, so perhaps he may have been involved, I wonder, in that instance at the start.
Yeah, very much so. It's hope we have a clean race for the remainder. A little incident on lap number 1, but yeah, coming back to last season, Dan, we've got to remember that result that obviously Sean did turn it into a race win in the end, and he stayed out during this safety car period, didn't he?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other drivers pitted, and actually come the end of the race, they were very much struggling on the tyres. I can vouch for that because I was struggling, and I'm brilliant. So it's going to be very hard for Chris Johnson and Stereogram to keep those tyres alive towards the end of the race.
It will be difficult, yeah. We saw Bossman Sean make a great run through the field in the closing stages of that race, and as you say, 18-lap race, it is a long one, so pitting on lap 1 is probably not always the greatest idea, but Sayer Sports will leave for the moment then, and well, my pre-race prediction of a Chris Johnson win, just it's looking pretty unlikely all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, you say that, but obviously, I think last season there was quite a split between the drivers, those who did and didn't pit. So perhaps with a lot of them staying out there, there's more cars for Chris Johnson to pass, of course, but might have an advantage. You don't know. Maybe they're all going to trip over each other. We'll find out. We've still got 16 laps to go in this race. We're under safety car as Alex Coates found the wall, we understand, on the run down to turn number 1. We're not sure if there was any contact involved with another driver, but there was certainly contact with something which lost part of his car. So to give you a quick rundown of the order then as we head through to lap 3. So Joe Sayer held on to first position from the start after qualifying on pole. Bazza in second. Cena obviously made up a place into P3 before Chris Johnson pitted. Magic Poupon involved in an incident with Chris Johnson during the safety car period, which has got Chris Johnson a penalty, which he served in his pit stops. Alex Afro in P5. Something to Joe. I think he was just a bit slow there. Alex Afro P5, Blegros P6, Sir Tom Penguin up 3 places to P7. Good start for the Renaults. Indecisive Mackie P8, Blown Wheelnut P9, and rounding out the top 10, Angel versus Def in the Williams.
Yeah, I think Joe's internet is on the edge at the moment, and this would not be a good time for it to disconnect during a safety car restart. You don't want any panicky Max Verstappen moments as he's about to drop the gas. So hopefully he can. Has he gone?
I don't think he's gone. Where
Baz
is he?
has took the lead.
Oh, there he's back. He's back.
Yeah, there we go. He is back.
This is not ideal for Joe Sayer. The Ferrari in the lead of the race. He's backing the pack up a little bit now. Let's hope they've all seen further back. When's he going to bolt it? He's in complete control now. It's entirely up to him. The safety car has peeled into the pits. He's toying with them. When's he going to go?
Baz is right there.
Baz is getting ready. And Joe's got a penalty. Unbelievable. Joe's picked up a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, I wonder if that was for overtaking Bazza again, for getting back past Bazza. He might get that penalty removed. But anyway,
oh, look, here goes Alex Afro further back. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dan, but Alex Afro up the inside of Magic Poupon. He's on the charge. The Renault up into P4. He ran a little bit wide on the exit there. This could give an opportunity for the Alfa Romeo on the long run up to turn number 3. He's protecting the inside line, and I think Alex could have this one done. Magic Poupon trying it around the outside, but I think he might have to concede that one for now. But great racing, really alert stuff there from Alex Afro on the restart, Dan.
Great move for Alex Afro then, yes. And the guy who took the win off him in Abu Dhabi, Magic Poupon, he managed to get straight back past him on the restart, and he's in 4th place, and we'll see if he can gain onto Cena now, and if he can make an impact in the top 3. It would be fantastic if he did. Well, I haven't said that, he's totally used up all his ERS for this lap, trying to make that overtake stick. Bazette is right on the back of Sayer Sports, though.
Yep, here we go. The Mercedes all over the back of Ferrari. We've heard that a few times in the past before. Joe Sayer really looking like he's struggling with that car at the moment. Bazza doing all he can. We've lost Sir Tom Penguin. Bazza sets the fastest lap.
It's a huge shame for Sir Tom Penguin to disconnect, and at this stage he was having a battle there with Indecisive as well for 7th place. Hopefully he can rejoin again. He's obviously fell right to the back of the pack now.
Oh, further back. Magic Poupon back past Alex Afro.
Side by side again.
Yeah, these two still battling. And they're fancying their go at each other at the moment, aren't they? Alex has been able to recoup some of his battery, but couldn't do anything about the attack from the Alfa Romeo. And these two swapping positions a bit regularly at the moment. Down the good racing from the field at the moment.
Yeah, well, look at Parser. He starts at the back, and now he's in 7th. He's absolutely flying. We said he had pace around here. We've seen it in TGP1. I wonder how quickly he can get onto the back of the 2.5 second behind Blair Girls. He'll close that in no time. Surely he's absolutely flying at the moment.
At this rate, you would not put it past him to catch up with that. We've got a yellow flag further back involving Breezer, I believe. We're still waiting for Tom Penguin to come back into this race. Chris Johnson is making moves up to P11 now. Dan's favourite for the win. And we've got DRS enabled now as well. We've got Magic Poupon now, actually putting Cena under a bit of pressure. Saying that, actually, Dan, we have to say, obviously a little bit of a surprise perhaps that we didn't have Cena pit, considering how long we think his tyres have got to go, considering how many laps he did in qualifying.
That's a good point, yeah. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It would have been an ideal time, I suppose, wouldn't it, for him to go into the pits. I have to say, I'm surprised that Chris Johnson not making up as many positions as I thought he would have done at the restart. Down in 11th still. That's not good for his chances of winning this race.
Yeah, not ideal at all, and he's about 3 tenths behind Angel versus Def. Let's ride on board the Mercedes driver. He doesn't plan a move into turn number 4. He should have read Mike Noon's school book of overtaking into turn number 4 at Austria. You can buy it at all relatively half-decent bookstores. Meanwhile, we've got Magic Poupon all over the back of Cena still. He struggled a little bit at the restart, maybe caught a little bit of napping by the Renault driver into turn number 1, but he's coming a little bit back into his own now as Bazza still putting pressure on Joe Sayer at the front.
Yeah, so we've got 6 tenths behind Bazza is on Joe Sayer, and then it's half a second with Magic Poupon on Cena. And as you say, Magic Poupon is, he was really committed into the first corner there, and he's going to have DRS, and he's going to have a run on Cena for 3rd place here.
Yep, surely he's going to make a move. Cena does defend the inside line. It's Magic Poupcan going to be sent the long way around. He certainly is. Bit of a lock-up on the inside from Cena. It forces Poupcan a little bit wide, and this could give a great opportunity to Alex Afro. Poupcan, and then somehow Cena's actually got DRS. I think he was ahead in the selection zone, in that braking zone for turn number 3, which in the end has cost Poupcan as Alex Afro gets very close to making contact with the Alfa Romeo's rear right tyre.
That was fortunate stuff, wasn't it, for Cena? You may not have meant that, but it allowed him to get the DRS and it allows him to stay ahead. And as you say, it's brought Alex Afro right back into this now. We're on lap 7, Tom Penguin's just rejoined, and probably around about this stage now, we've got to be wondering when we're going to be seeing pit stops.
Yeah, I wondered if Poupcan was about to dive into the pits there, perhaps try and undercut on the Red Bull in front of him, but still none of the top 6 diving into the pits yet. Parza is closing in as we've got Blair Grills closing in on the back of Alex Afro. Are we going to see a move? I've gone too far on the cameras. No, we don't see a move into turn number 1. Magic Poupcan again with a good run on Cena. Battery level wise, it seems like Poupcan is a little bit better off. I've just seen something interesting on my dash actually, Dan, as we've got Cena running a little bit wide, and this could be the opportunity for Poupcan, could it?
Yeah, he went very wide into turn 2, and Magic Poupcan's got the chance now at your favourite corner, but he does not go late on the brakes as you would, and stays behind.
I think we're about to see Cena coming to the pits. I've just seen something interesting on the telemetry down, and I think we're about to see that Red Bull driver dart into the pits. Back at the front, Bazza just half a second behind Joe, just can't get close enough to make a move. Poupcan is almost pushing Cena around this track.
Let's see if one of the top 2 come in then first of all in this battle lead. Oh, I think Say it was braking to go into the pit lane, and nearly Bazza always ran into the back of him there. Cena's also coming in, as you say, so you're right on that. Absolutely spot on. Hopefully none of them will go too quickly into the pit lane. I don't think they have, thankfully.
No, Jose is going to have to serve his penalty, of course, as well. So this is going to lose him 5 seconds, which is a huge loss for our race leader. This is going to drop him back probably about 4 or 5 positions, thanks to how congested those top few were.
Oh, and Brown Wheel Nut is round. He's hit by somebody. I think he was hit by either the Williams or the Racing Point, and that is going to lose him positions. Meanwhile, coming out the pit lane, Cena is out, and look at that, Say Sports is right up at the back of the queue.
Yeah, disappointing for the Ferrari driver, but he ignored yellow flags, and the stewards do not like that. He might, unfortunately for him, he obviously can't get it removed now either, thanks to when he got it during the race phase. This is a crucial stage now for Bazza, Alex Afro and Blair Grills. The 3 around them all pitted. We had that top 6 so close together with Parza catching up to them. Those 3 at the front now have got to make the time up on these 3 if they're going to have any chance of fighting for the win. Meanwhile, Alex Afro and Blair Grills are too busy fighting each other, and Bazza stays out.
Yeah, Bazza stayed out, Blair Grills stays out, and let's not forget Chris Johnson as well, of course, who has jumped all of those guys at the moment. Parson comes in as well, who's also shown great pace. So, well, this is wide open now, isn't it, after Jose's penalty, and I'm surprised Bazza stayed out for another lap.
Yep, I have to say I am somewhat too. We've got, where's Afro going to come out in relation? There's the 3 going past the main picture now. So Cena, Magic Poupcan and Joe Sayer will have got past Alex Afro, who did pit. We've got Poupcan. Oh, good Lord. That was close.
How did he save that one? Incredible save by Magic Poupcan, and well, he's not going to lose any positions either. Sayer Sport is coming at him, but so is Alex Afro coming out the pit lane, and Sayer Sport is ahead of Alex Afro then. But you can see he's lost so many positions for having to take that penalty. They're having to get past Stereogram now in the traffic, aren't they?
This is great news for Cena. Great news for Cena. He's got a good gap now back to these cars. He's out of the DRS zone. Sayer's now stuck behind Stereogram, who's got Alex, and Sayer's got Alex Afro all over the back of him. Are we going to see him move into turn number 6? He thinks better, but Sayer's gone wide. He's really struggling in this phase of the race, Dan.
He is indeed. Yeah, Alex Afro probably taking a little bit too much curve there as Bazza now finally comes in. Blake Hill stays out again, goes on another lap. So Chris Johnson is, well, this is great news for Chris Johnson, isn't it? He's in second place now and will be soon in the net lead.
Joe Sayer really struggling there. So is Stereogram. Parza's dropped back a little bit, but this is Alex Afro's opportunity. He goes to the inside on the run down to turn 1, and surely he's going to have the move done. Yes, he does, and he's still going to keep DRS there. Joe tried to hang on to it, but I think he shouldn't have. And this is going to lose him a bit of momentum, as Parza's going to be all over the back now as they try and attack Stereogram.
Yeah, this is Stereogram's holding them all up, isn't it? And Parson, is he going to hit the right to Alex Afro? No, he just avoids him. How are they not? Oh, there's a bit of collision there between Sky Sports and Alex Afro, but Alex Afro stays ahead, and Stereogram must have a great view in his mirrors at the moment.
They just can't clear him, and this is holding them up so much. This is crucial for the race as Alex Afro runs wide, and he could have had a really good opportunity there, but look how far Poop Cannon's up the road already.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and Cena as well. Yeah, so Cena and Poop Cannon are absolutely loving this. Stereogram continues to hold these guys up. Farsight is right on the back of Sayer, and is Blake Grill's going to pit? No, Blake Grill's has stayed out again.
Unbelievable. Alex Afro has drained his battery. He was probably hoping that he'd get around Stereogram at some point in that middle sector, but he hasn't been able to. Drained his battery, and this could leave him open to attack. He's going to get past Stereogram surely on the run down to turn number 1, is he? He does, up the inside, but he's got barely any battery to defend in the next 2 straights.
Oh, look at that. 3.7 seconds is now the gap for Alex Afro that he has to close in on Magic Poop Cannon. Sky Sports now knows he needs to get this move done because Barca's right behind him as well. Look at this. And he's actually ghosted through him, which I expected to be quite thankful for.
Zaffro's gone! Zaffro's gone! Unbelievable! He was running so well, he was in a net P3, and he now finds himself the wrong way. I say he's in a net P3. Bazza has pitted and has got 3 seconds to him and Cena. He's pulled a masterstroke.
Well, this traffic, Stereogram has totally changed this race, hasn't it? And Stereogram's now spun. Stereogram has now spun, so that will be him totally out of the picture before he even makes his stop. But yeah, well, great stuff for Bazette. I think we could be looking at a Mercedes 1-2 at this rate. Let's see where Blake Grills comes out, though. He's in the pit lane now, finally.
Yeah, Baz is about 5.5 seconds off the back of his teammate on tyres that are 10 laps younger. 10 laps younger. Chris Johnson can't hold on to this.
Yeah, surely not. Let's see. Here comes Blake Grills. Then Cena goes through. Magic Poop Cannon goes through. Is Blake Grills going to come out ahead of Sky Sports? Yes, he is. So Blake Grills comes out in 5th place.
Look at Parza, though, Dan. Look at Parza. He's going to do it. He doesn't even need the braking zone. He's well ahead. Joe Sayer has gone from 1st to 7th.
Once again, Joe Sayer, he qualifies on the front row, qualifies on pole even, and cannot really get a good result in the race. As the Sky Sports going to come back at him, though, I think into turn 4. Yeah, if he's late on the brakes, no, stays ahead, does Parset.
Meanwhile, a little bit further up the road, these guys are closing in on Chris Johnson. They've already gained a second on this lap, Bazza. Bazza's got 4 seconds back to Cena. I mean, Bazza just needs to keep his head, and this one's going to be a walk in the park. But someone who can't have a nice walk in the park at the moment is Cena. He's got Magic Poop Cannon all over him.
I just wonder where Parser could have been in this race if he didn't have the quality ban. You have to imagine he would have been right up there as well, wouldn't he?
He would have been. Up there. He would have been. His pace is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Looks like possibly a good exit here for Magic Poop Cannon, and he's going to have DRS, and he's going to be able to go for it on Cena for 3rd place, although actually not really gaining that much. In fact, he wasn't using his overtake, so he's obviously building it up. Presumably he's going to try and use it here. If he can get a good exit out the corner, Cena pulls away slightly. And now he's using it, and now we'll see if he can get the move done. Yeah,
Cena using it as well in a little bit of defence. Are we going to see a late lunge from Poop Cannon? Not this time, but he's running out of time. As we're running out of laps, of course. Just 4.5 laps to go. Chris Johnson hasn't lost as much time on that last lap, so he's doing what he needs to at the moment, but only just. And you're right at the moment, though, Dan. It's looking very likely we're going to have a Mercedes 1-2, but in what order?
I'm not sure, but I'm starting to think of Austria 2016 here, where the Mercedes collided on the last lap. I'm starting to wonder if that's a possibility, if Bazza can close in on those tyres, as you say, that are, 9 laps younger than Chris Johnson's.
Poop Cannon just trying to give Cena so many distractions in his rear view mirror, but he just doesn't have the pace on the straights, Dan. He's really struggling. He's trying to save his battery for an attack, but Cena's doing the same. He just needs to go for it where Cena's not expecting it, and he might get the move done.
Yeah, he seems reluctant to use his overtake during the first straight, doesn't he? The first DRS zone, where I think that's the longest one, isn't it? So I think it's probably worth just having a go at that one instead of saving up for this one, which isn't as long.
So late on the brakes, though, isn't he? Look at him go.
Yeah. The time is run out for Magic Poop Cannon. Remember, he's just 1 point behind Chris Johnson in the championship. But Chris Johnson is 3 places ahead of him in this race and is about to gain significantly.
Yeah, and interestingly, Bazza only gained half a second on that last lap. Has Chris Johnson been toying with them?
Yeah, I think he might have been. I think he's just managing the pace, wasn't he, for a few laps? And well, it looked like he totally lost so much time at the safety car restart, wasn't making up positions, but the traffic from Stereogram has helped them massively, and Bazza just can't close in.
Here we go, though, Dan. Look at this. Magic Poop Cannon. He's using his overtake now. Up the hill they come. Is Cena using it in defence? He's not. He's thinking about the long game. Poop Cannon wants it done now, and he's going to try it up the inside. He thinks better of it still, but it doesn't have as much to attack now on this straight.
Yeah, but he got close, though, didn't he? He got a yellow flag out. I think that's for Breezer, I think, who's possibly gone off. Yeah, it is. It is for Beezy, who's gone off. And once again, so late on the brakes, Magic Poop Cannon. Cena locks up ever so slightly. But these two are really locked in this battle now for the final podium. Cena, oh, wow, nearly goes wide there into turn 5. And he nearly had to go, Magic Poop Cannon.
Yeah, Magic Boot Cannon is almost pushing Cena around this lap. Cena all over the track. He's doing his best to hold on. Magic Boot Cannon just trying anything to get into P3, get onto that podium. He just can't do it at the moment. Unbelievable stuff.
2.9 seconds then the gap, so he's closed it in a little bit more, Bazza, but I don't think it's going to be enough with just 2 laps to go in this race. Pars has picked up a penalty now, so really it's all eyes on this battle for third, I think.
Yeah, Blair Grills was catching up to these two as well at one point, and has now backed off a little bit now. Magic Poop Cannon is dropped back as well, having that little moment on the exit of turn number 1. Has his best opportunity gone? We've got a yellow flag. Has Blair Grills gone? No, don't worry. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
don't panic.
I think it was Breezer slowing down for the guys ahead. Once again, Magic Poop Cannon so late on the brakes. Cena was actually at 0 ERS down the straight there at the start of the lap, but obviously he's recovered a bit through the braking zones. And Magic Poop Cannon is going to have to try and have one last attack. Oh, look at him nearly losing the car through there as he approaches the final lap of this race. It's 2.8 seconds, the gap at the front. Looks like Chris Johnson has it in the bag. Well,
your prediction at the beginning of the race is spot on at the moment. Chris Johnson just one more lap to go. I just cannot believe that these two in the battle for third have been so close for so long and we haven't had a position swap. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Either Poop Cannon needs to be more brave, or Cena's got one of the best defences we've ever seen. But he's going to have to attack now. He's got one more lap to go. 2 more opportunities up the hill then. Are we going to see a late lunge from the Alfa Romeo driver? He's thinking about it, but he thinks better of it. But he's now offline on the run down to turn 4.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't go for that a little bit more there, Magic Poop Cannon. But now Cena's gone totally. Look, Cena's disappeared almost. There's no chance Magic Poop Cannon's going to be getting him into the next corner. And Cena is somehow, despite all that pressure, it looks like he's going to hold on for the podium.
Well, I have to say, Chris Johnson, we've barely spoken about him in this race, but what a fantastic drive he has done using the alternative strategy, pitting on lap 1, let's not forget, lap 1 he pitted. He's had those medium tyres on ever since the second lap of this race. He's kept his cool, he's kept the pace up, and Chris Johnson wins in Austria. And Bazza brings it home for a Mercedes 1-2. Absolutely fantastic driving from the two of them. Cena does hold on to third place in the end, and what was the most fantastic defence I've seen in a long, long time. Blair Grills in P5. I think he'll be disappointed with that, actually, on reflection. And Joe Sayer, our pole sitter, P6.
Yeah, Joe will not be happy with that. It was that penalty, wasn't it, that Joe had to save for that strange moment that occurred.
I just don't think he had the pace, though, Dan. In that second stint on the mediums, he just didn't have the pace, did he?
Certainly, that played a part, no doubt about it. And in fact, even if you were to remove 5 seconds off his race time, he'd still be 1.2 seconds behind Blair Grills in 5th in the race order. So, yeah, he really didn't have the pace in that second stint. Chris Johnson on those medium tyres, though, he managed to make them work for pretty much the entire race, and he had to save a 5-second penalty as well, of course, didn't he? Although was under the safety car. Yeah.
Well, it's no surprise that Parza is your driver of the race. An excellent performance from him, from 17th to 7th, and actually 6th on the road. He dropped a place in the end thanks to penalties. Chris Johnson, though, with the win. He will be delighted with that one. I did not think at the end of lap number 2 that we'd be seeing him on the top step, but he's proved me wrong, and he's given his championship hopes a great boost, extending his lead in the championship over Parza by 13 points. Big stuff. Yeah. Big news.
Yeah, big win, a very vital win for Chris Johnson. Bazza gets the fastest lap though, and of course it's a huge race for Mercedes, isn't it? In the constructors, they will already lead them by quite a fair way, and they will be flying out ahead now after this race for Mercedes.
Yeah, it's great news for Mercedes and the constructors. So let's give you a rundown of our order. So Chris Johnson, your race winner. Bazza in P2 with the fastest lap as well. Cena held on for 3rd place. Great drive from him. Magic Poot Cannon in P4. Blair Grills came home in P5 with Joe Sayer, our pole sitter, ending up P6. And it was actually 7th on the road for him. Parza in 7th. Mr. John in 8th. Indecisive Mackie 9th and Blown Wheelnut in P10. Alex Afro, what could have been for him, but in the end down in P11. Angel versus Death in 12th. 13th for Sir Tom Penguin, 14th for Stereogram. Breezer, who spun at almost every opportunity he had, unfortunately for him, just missing out on the points.
So, next race then, and Dom will have been watching that, and he will have been seeing is one of his biggest championship contenders take a pretty dominant victory in the end after having to make that pit stop on the first lap.
Yeah. Oh, big stuff. Big news. So we've got Jacko, who has joined us for the second race. So good to see him here. Dom, unfortunately, hasn't been able to make it back for the second race for tonight. And look at that picture on the left-hand side, Dan. We've got cones.
We do indeed have cones. And Bahrain short, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. I just hope none of the drivers forget and think that it's the long track and just go straight on.
Oh gosh, could you imagine?
Brain fade can happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did. I feel like it would be something I would do at some stage.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I think I'd do that as well, actually.
On an out lap or something in qualifying. Hopefully they will remember though, and of course it's not the actual short track that we seen in the Sakhir Grand Prix last year. It's the F1 version, F1 2020 version.
Yeah, it's the short track as opposed to the outer loop, isn't it?
Yeah,
We hope to see the outer loop at some point on this game, because I think that'd be a fantastic addition for the TGP calendar. Oh, could you imagine that? Absolutely brilliant.
I'd absolutely love to see that. Yeah. So, as you say, Chris Johnson extends his lead in the championship from Magic Poop Cannon, but Bazza will only just be a couple of points behind now after that result in Austria.
Yeah.
Joe Sayer, once again, would have hoped to have gained a lot of points, but made an error and only finished in 6th.
So, are we going to have Joe's third pole of the season, Dan? You mentioned it during the race last time in Austria there. He seems to be very capable in qualifying, but then just has no answer in the race.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. This is a really a journey into the unknown, isn't it? So I don't know really if he can get pole here or how it's going to play out, but I have to imagine he's obviously going to be one of the favourites for it. And hopefully he can then have a decent race. It should still, I think it's 29 laps this race, 50% around this short track. But it still should just be a one-stopper, I think.
We will find out in due course. The driver's getting ready for an 18-minute qualifying. Dan, you said about getting 4 or even 5 runs in Austria. Well, they'll be treated to even more around here, you would have thought. Definitely, you'd say they probably could get 5 runs in. Obviously, if we reckon it is going to be about a minute lap here, we're anticipating, therefore, to see just over a minute on the out lap, probably just under a minute for the lap, and then just over a minute on the out lap. Then 5 runs becomes very possible, but perhaps not with the tyres to be able to do 5 new tyre runs. But certainly, if drivers need them, then it's there for them. Yeah,
and also with this being a 50% race, usually in a 25% race you have it so it's automatically set so that you can only have the virtual safety car or safety car twice. But I think in a 50% race, I think that goes up to 5 times.
Gosh, big difference.
I think I'm right in saying that. and 100% is 6 times, because I think they base it off Canada 2011. So
Right.
there is a chance in this race, and if it is an instant packed one, could have a few more safety cars and virtual safety cars than the usual amount that we would get in a TGP race.
Yeah, so here we go then. A voyage into the unknown. 18 minutes of qualifying coming up. We don't know how this is going to go. We don't know who's going to be on pole. Probably Joe Sayer. But we will find out. We've got 18 cars on a very, very short track. Traffic is going to be a huge problem.
Well, look at that. The Mercedes drivers haven't even left the pit lane yet. That showed a bit of confidence early on.
We've got Parza off the track at the moment here, Dan. I think the Red Bull might just be trying to find himself some space. But he's definitely dirtying his tyres. And he almost takes out the 150-metre board.
Yeah, I think there we go. He's going again, and he's going to do it. Oh, well, that's a four starts of the lap to go off track like that, and that's not really ideal. But we'll see what he can do anyway. And as you say, look at that, the round already with 16 minutes to go. We're going to have loads of chances to set laps in this session. And we've got Jacko coming out on mediums for his first lap, and so has Blown Wheel Nut.
Yeah, we're on board then with Magic Poop Cannon. Was 1 point off the championship leader Chris Johnson. Now finds himself 14 points off him.
Oh, look at this. Magic Poop Cannon's gaining on Stereogram and Red Bull Kim on a lap here. Oh, did not make contact. Stereogram, is he getting out the way? I think he possibly is. I don't know.
I don't really know.
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to where he's going to break into this final corner. But I tell you, if he can manage this well, he might get a bit of a slipstream from Red Bull Kim. I don't think he would have been too thankful for what happened early on in the lap, though. And there we go. There you go. Under a minute race.
There we are.
9.1.
Questions answered. Any question answered by Dan and I, we'll get them right by this way. By the way we're going so far. Parza then, we saw him backing off, coming onto his lap. We saw him going wide, coming onto his lap. We've seen him go P6 after his lap. We've got, I just saw a car going very suspiciously wide there, but I think they saved it. Jacko goes into P3. We've only got 2 drivers dipping below the minute mark yet. We've got Sayer Sports out there at the moment. He's just finished a lap and does a 59.3.
You have to imagine that Magic Poop Cannon's got time to find around this part of the lap that he is now, because this really was held up slightly by Stereogram and Red Bull Kim ahead, so he's certainly got time to find. Didn't see Sayer Sports lap. I thought he just was taking out the cones there, but it was lag. So he was not taking out any cones. Jacko's gone 4th on his medium tyres. That's not bad, I suppose.
That's a good lap from Jacko. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Great spot. Jacko, P4 on the mediums. Thinking of going long, maybe. Look at this. Angel versus Death is up in 5th. Fantastic stuff from Michael Kenny. Parza goes pole. Provisional pole for Parza.
Well, he messed up the start to his first lap, but there we go. He's put that one in on a 59.0 and goes to the top of the timing sheets. Let's see if Jacko pits, despite looking like he was going again for another lap on those medium tyres. Is Chris Johnson now out on track? He is, and he's about to come round the final corner. He's 44.9 so far on the lap in the middle sector, and we'll see where this puts him. If he can get straight up there, straight in the top positions, here he goes 4th.
Yeah. Baza on an outlap at the moment on the medium tyre. I don't know if he came in after a first run maybe, but odd that we haven't had him put a time on the board there. Cena still yet to put a time on the board as well, as has Mr. John, who is in the pits. We'll probably have a lot of drivers who will be starting to come into the pits now to get ready for the second run. So give you a quick rundown of the order then. With 13 minutes to go, Parza, provisional pole for him at the moment. As he goes even quicker now, so that was well timed. Almost into the 58s, look. Magic Poo Cannon in P2 at the moment. Joe Sayer 3 tenths back in P3. Chris Johnson P4. Alex Afro P5. Blair Grills P6. Now Jack P7. Angel versus Def in P8. Jacko 9th. And Sir Tom Penguin rounding out our top 10.
So Chris Johnson, is he going to go again? No, I think he's going to pit. He's 3.7 seconds off at the moment, or at least he's on a cool-down lap. Neljak looks like he is improving though. Decent first sector for him, and he's improved slightly. He's got his teammate just behind him. Wonder if he got a bit of a toe at the start of the lap, perhaps. I'm not sure what the corner number is now because of so many of the car,
No,
half the
neither.
track being taken out. But,
I'm half tempted to still call the last corner turn 14 and 15 just for ease, but I don't really know.
I suppose that will be a bit easier. In fact, he's backed off now, Jack.
Yeah, I think
on
he
this
has.
lap.
Yeah.
It was improving, so that's a bit strange. But Parsons is going to come into the pit lane now. And we're seeing if anybody else think they're all just pretty much in the pit lane at this stage.
Yeah, we've got Blair
out.
Grills, who is about to start a lap though, Dan. P6 at the moment. The McLaren's 6th and 7th.
Bazza goes 10th for his first lap on the mediums.
Yeah. I think Baz will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I think he will be as well, yeah. I think he knows he can do better. Now, he does usually he does like to go on the mediums though early on his first lap of the session. Cena does not seem to be pushing. In fact, I'm not sure what Cena's doing, but he's definitely not pushing on this lap at the moment.
So I guess setup's going to be very interesting around here, Dan, I would have thought. We've got some long straights, and it's not a very long lap, but do you go for more downforce for that middle sector, or do you crank the wing down and go for that straight line speed?
No, I will go for a straight line speed personally around here, because it is mainly just the straights now. I know it does get a bit twisty in the middle, but I think you'll probably be best to do that. But look at Magic Poop Cannon, 44.1 middle sector now. He is flying here, and if he can nail this final corner, it's 2 corners, but effectively it's only 1 corner, he is certainly going to go quickest, and is surely going to go into the 58s.
Wow!
There we go.
Wow! Gosh, that's something else. No, it's half a second on a lap. It's not even a minute long. Wow, great lap.
Yeah, that was a very, very quick lap by Magic Poop Cannon, and he goes to the top on a 58.5. Chris Johnson's back in the pit lane. Say Sports is on a lap right now, although I'm not sure if he's pushing or not because he's lagging everywhere.
I think he is, Dan, yeah.
See what he does around here. And yeah, he is on a lap, isn't he? But just getting a bit of lag.
He's invalidated, I think he's just
he has.
wide.
Yeah, he went a bit too wide. So we'll have to go again. Who else have we got on
Blaine Wheelock's just got into P6. Yeah, and he's going quicker.
Yeah, and he was up in the first sector, wasn't he? So is he going to go again on these soft tyres? Is he going to do a C-net and just put a few laps in here? It looks like he might have the pace. Was it Australia as well, I think? Or no, sorry, it was Abu Dhabi. He showed good pacing.
Yeah, he did.
As well.
Yeah.
But then we had that wet race, of course. And again, he's just fractionally up on his time, so he could get up here a little bit.
Yeah, fractions make a big difference on a short lap, though, won't it, Dan? And
yeah,
are we going to see?
Oh,
what's he doing?
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to try and steal a bit of a toe or something, but then he just backed off and into the pit lane he comes.
Joe's there, meanwhile, Dan, on another lap. Didn't find any time through the first split.
Yeah, this is where he invalidated last time. He doesn't do it this time, and it's a 44.5. I think Magic Poop Cannon was at a 44.3, and Jacko's gone into 3rd place on a 59.1. Here comes Sports around the final corner. Is he going to be able to get back ahead of Jacko? Let's find out. He does. And he's just, look at that, he's just 2 thousandths off Parser.
Wow.
In 2nd place.
This is great stuff. This is great fun. This is going to give us a hell of an interesting race, Dan.
It is indeed, yeah. But, well, I have to say that for the sake of the race, that I do hope somebody can get a little bit closer to Poop Cannon's time. Because it is a big gap right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've got Parser on an outlap at the moment. What's Chris Johnson doing? What is he doing? Can he improve on P5? 9 tenths off the pace at the moment. He's only found a 10th in the first split, but we've still got 2/3 of the lap to go. The Mercedes driver then, our championship leader, our race winner last time round, struggling for pace at the moment in the Bahrain short circuit.
Let's see what he can do then. Oh, it looked like he was about to lose the car through that long right-hander there. Usually turn 12, but now is another number. We'll see what and in fact he lost time. He did lose time through there, and well, we'll see if he improves slightly on the final corner. He might improve his lap a little bit, but he's 4 tenths off Jacko in 4th place, so I don't think it's going to be anything drastic. Crosses the line, and yeah, indeed he does improve, but only marginally, and remains in 5th.
Yeah, not ideal then for Chris Johnson. Yeah, not ideal at all. Interesting, our pit lane reporter, Jean-Luc Taylor, just shared something relatively interesting for us, Dan. He wondered, could go for a 2-stop strategy in the 50% race and perhaps do soft, medium, soft.
Yeah, it is possible. I was looking at that earlier, but I think the game says that it would be a longer race if you were to do that, but maybe the game could very well be wrong on that. It will be interesting though. Strategy could be a huge factor in this race. Look at Alex Afro coming around the final corner.
I just saw that. There you go.
And he goes into fourth. Look how close it is. Look how close it is between second, third, and fourth.
Wow. Oh, it's Bazza P2. Bam. Take that.
There we go. Look at that. And he gets the second driver then to get into the 58 seconds. And there's, 2/10 now off Magic Pipcan. That is a good lap from Bazza.
Alex Afro taking out a cone on his way through the first sector.
Going on a little journey, and now leaves it in the middle of the track for everybody else to pick up. So Sports
Tom Penguin. I don't know how he saved that. I cut to him, and he was perpendicular with the track. He was perpendicular with the track, Dan, and he kept it going. That is some serious Penguin reactions going on there. Fantastic stuff from the Renault. But what a lap from Alex Afro, P5, and pushing himself well into contention.
Yeah, absolutely. As Chris Johnson on a lap here, I think he just fractionally up in the first sector. This is where he lost time last time around this turn 11, turn 12, and Mr. John gets out of his way there, and I think he's probably going to be up on his lap time. He's gone wide there, and is that an invalidation? It's not an invalidation. So he goes and has a little bit of fun in the desert and does not get an invalidation for that, despite being now 2/10 or almost 3/10 up on his lap time. But he's pitting, yeah.
It's very difficult to follow this, to know who's on a lap, who's on an out lap, who's on a second run, who's on an in lap, just because of how quick it is to do everything. It's very difficult to follow, but we're doing our best. Let's watch Joe Sayer.
Passes a bit further round on the lap, and Passes going even quicker. Passes on a 44.3 now, second bar on the second sector here, so I think he's going to improve. I think he's going to get into the 58. I don't know if he can take first off Magic Pooper Cannon, but let's find out as he crosses the line. He's just 2/10 behind.
It's close. It's closer than I thought it would be, actually.
Bazza. It is, yeah, it's really close. It is really close. Here comes Sayer Sports, 44.4 middle sector, 10th up, so he's going to get into the 58 seconds here, I think, as well.
Yep, just 2 more corners technically for Joe Sayer to go on the run to the line there. Is this going to be better than P4 for the Ferrari driver? No. He does get into the 58s and does cut the timing beam a little bit, but not by much.
I think Joe possibly be a little bit disappointed with that, you have to say. Given his quality pace so far in the season, if he was to start in 4th, I think he'd be quite disappointed, wouldn't he?
I think he would. I think the person who'd be most disappointed at the moment, Chris Johnson. He's still down in P9. He could be out the top 10 at this rate.
Yeah, this is a big moment then, early stages of course, but big for the championship, especially after we've just seen Chris Johnson take that dominant victory in Austria. If he was to be way out of it for this one, it could play into the hands very much of the other championship contenders. Here's Jacko coming round now to what is usually turn 13. Is this middle sector going to be decent? He's about a 10th off where Sayer Sports was at this point. So I think the pace is very close between Sayer Sports and Jacko specifically. He's looked a bit wide there coming into that final corner. Didn't see it from an on-board view, but I think he would have lost a bit of time.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. He was wide.
He doesn't improve.
He was wide. Really interesting split so far at the moment of the field. A lot of drivers in the pits at the moment, putting on some fresh set of rubber, and we'll be going out again for. You can get 2 laps on the softs, really. I'm really surprised though so far, Dan. More than Chris Johnson actually. Cena, they're down in 15th place. He was on the podium at the last round.
Yeah, I think he might be having trouble with track extending. I think he's had a few invalidations. I might be wrong on that, but I think when I've been going through the field, it looks like he's picked up a few. Blair Grills has come around the final corner. He's down in 13th. That's not really where he usually has been in qualifying, and he goes up to 9th now.
He heard you. He heard you.
Yeah, he did indeed. Yeah.
So we got the top 13 separated by, as near as makes no difference, a second. So yeah, really tight field then. Now Jack.
I think Alex Afro was about to improve there, but made a bit of an error at the final corner. We've seen quite a few errors at that final corner.
Yeah, it's right on board then with Alex Afro on a lap around Bahrain short. He's got a wandering AlphaTauri in front of him, and he's picked up an invalidated lap because of that. Probably put him off there a little bit, Dan, you have to say, as we've got a lot more of the drivers heading back out on the track now to start their final runs.
It's going to be a busy track at this stage.
Yeah, it is. Track position is going to be key. Poop Cannon's on a lap though, Dan. Let's see if he can improve.
Yeah, he was a 10th off. He was just over the 10th off in the first sector. So I'm not sure but certainly didn't look like an improvement in the early stages, and he's still a 10th off. Although he has gone purple in that middle sector, the graphic says, so he hasn't lost a huge amount of time there. Into the final corner. This is where we've seen quite a few drivers struggling. And is he going to pit?
He is.
He is. Okay. So he's not going to be able to go out again. So that's it then for Magic Poop Cannon. That's it. He's done.
Interesting strategy. Yeah, don't get that.
Yeah, maybe it's just because he just doesn't want to be possibly facing traffic or anything. He just thinks he wants to get his lap in early, and he just comes into the pit lane now. But strange decision. It could cost him.
Exactly, struggling out there as well. We've got Joe Sayer starting a lap, Bazza just starting a lap in front of him. So let's watch the Mercedes driver then. He was P2 in the last race. He was P2 on the grid in the last race. He's P2 so far in this qualifying. Where will this lap leave him though? Will Bazza climb up the order? For some reason my controller's switched and he's lost time in the first sector though, Dan. How's Sayer gone on?
He has lost time in the first sector. Joe Sayer is he's about even. Really, and but Chris Johnson's improving though. Chris Johnson is a 10th and a half up in the first sector. This is where he's seems to have a bit of struggle around turn 12 here into turn 13, and again he's not really making much of a connection with that apex.
Bazza not improving.
It's about
Joe
even.
not improving.
Bazza doesn't improve. Chris Johnson is certainly going to improve here though, but I don't think it's going to be enough, to trouble even a 58-second lap time. To be honest, let's see as he crosses the line. No.
Wow. He's still 11th. Unbelievable stuff.
Well, at least he'll get free tyre choice. As Cena's managed to put it into 5th place, he finally got a lap in, and Cena goes into 5th. These are the final runs now then for all the drivers. Can Bazza steal a bit of a tow here from Sir Tom Penguin? He's still a 10th and a half down though at the first sector.
Yeah, I just can't believe that Chris Johnson at the moment is not in the top 10. Where's the World Championship leader? You have to say. Alex Afro is not going any quicker than 6th. This is hurting Bazza now. This that's a big off for Afro. Jesus. But look at this. Look at this. Bazza's finding time. He's purple in the middle sector.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he was off in the first sector as well, and then has improved in the second. Joe Sayer's improving as well. Is he going to take all?
Up to the line. No, he loses time. Joe Sayer, meanwhile. No,
also
can't do it.
Once again, then, not many improvements at the end of the session. And it is Magic Poop Cannon who takes what I believe is his second pole of the season. We've had two poles each then for Magic Poop Cannon and for Joe Sayer in this season so far.
Yep, first time this season, Joe Sayer off the front row as well, of course.
It is, yeah. Yeah, because he had the penalty in Australia, but qualified second still. So down in 4th, we've got the World Championship leader down in 11th. What a great opportunity this race is then for Magic Poop Cannon, who around such a short track is 2/10 clear of anybody else.
Wow, we've got... This is going to be huge. It's saying on my screen at the moment, Dan, that Chris Johnson's in 9th. So I don't know if somehow... He put a late lap in, which it did. He did put a late lap in, which somehow didn't register. Well, it's 2 places better off than he was, but I'm sure he'd still rather be higher. So let's give you a rundown then of our order. So Magic Poop Cannon takes pole position from Bazza, joining him on the front row again. Parza in P3 with Sayer Sports in P4. Joe's first time off the front row this season. Cena pulled it out of the bag in the end, P5. Alex Afro had that big crash at the end of the session, P6. Jacko in P7. Blown Wheelnut in P8. Chris Johnson, championship leader, down in P9. Indecisive in P10. We've just lost Jacko, which is a shame. Hopefully he gets back in time for the race. Blair Groves P11. Now Jack P12. Angel vs. Death. Mr. John. Sir Tom Penguin. Stereogram. Red Bull Kim. And Breezer.
Yeah, I think Chris Johnson would possibly have preferred to start 11th instead of 9th, to be honest, because it's not a big difference, is it? And of course he gets free tyre choice if he was to start in 11th, although that is now effectively 8th that he is starting because Jacko has left. Hopefully he can rejoin him, but he's not going to be able to take the start of this race as we get ready then. And it doesn't look like there's any rain in the air for Bahrain. We had rain in Abu Dhabi. No rain.
I don't even want to say never now. It's just, it could happen.
Yeah,
Very well
that
could
is
happen.
true. Yeah, that is true. We can see into the garage of the Mercedes drivers there. There's Chris Johnson. Mercedes will not be happy with Chris Johnson's performance after that session.
I heard that Toto Wolff needed a new
though.
table, apparently, after that qualifying session. Apparently, he'd slammed down and it broke in two. Mercedes boss not very happy with that one. And a new table, please, for in the Mercedes garage. Dan, as I'm going to do what I did last time. Last minute call, who's going to win?
Well, I mean, Poop Cannon's got a 2/10 gap, isn't he? So I think you probably have to say Poop Cannon, but I think a lot's going to happen in this race.
I think we're in for an absolute treat. A step into the unknown for TGPSeries. A 50% race, a Bahrain short. Let's find out how we get on. We got 5 lights, and we're underway then for our first ever race at Bahrain short, and it's a relatively clean start. Bazza tucks in behind Magic Poop Cannon, and on the run down to turn 1, is he going to have a go? He thinks better of it as the cars funnel in further back. A big braking zone, as we all know, into turn 1, and we got no spinners, it looks like, so far. Is anyone going to forget we're on the short track? Don't. But they form into a nice orderly queue then on the run down to the back straight.
Well, yeah, fair play to them all. That was very clean, wasn't it, in the end? Chris Johnson has made the 3 positions. Well, Chris Johnson's into 6th place, so at least he got a decent start to the race, which he'll be happy about. Jacko, of course, has lost a lot of position because he's not here, but Magic Poop Cannon, Bazza had a go, didn't he? He pulled out and went for it into the first corner, but Magic Poop Cannon just manages to stay clear. Alex Zaffro is battling with Chris Johnson, and Chris Johnson is back losing positions now.
He's gone!
In fact, he's left the session!
Unbelievable. Our championship leader has left the session. He's going to drop like a stone.
Well, that is huge then for the championship, isn't it? But look at Bazza. Look at Bazza, Mike. He's catching up on Magic Poop Cannon for the lead.
I can't get to him in time. He doesn't think about a move, though. I've saved it. We're all fine. Oh, look at Joe in the background under the pressure from Cena.
Yeah, Joe said just staying ahead, but Cena, is he going to try and go around? It's quite difficult to try and find a perfect spot to overtake into that corner, I imagine, as Chris Johnson continues to lose positions. Hopefully he can get back and rejoin us. Parser was gaining right on Magic Cannon and Bazza as well at into turn 1 there with Bazza gaining. Parser right there. Sayer Sports in a battle with Cena. Alex Afro doing well in 6th, and Blown Wheelnut. Blown Wheelnut at 7th, and Angel versus Death as well. And brilliant.
Up 5 places. Brilliant stuff from Michael Kenny. Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic stuff. Just having a quick look at the tyres very quickly. And we have Angel vs. Death actually on the medium tyres. Sir Tom Penguin as well. Blair Grills, Mr. John, and Red Bull Kim. But look at this. Look at Magic Poop Cannon trying to make sure the Plastic can't get any slipstream down the straight.
And we're going to have DRS, of course, being enabled this lap too. Bazza thinks better of it this time. Maybe think about his opportunity this time next lap. He just needs to keep within touching distance. He'll have DRS on the back straight, of course, as Joe being put under pressure from Cena further back as well. So here we go. Our first taste of DRS on Bahrain Short. And it's the longest DRS zone on this circuit, ever so slightly. And it's perhaps more effective because you're up to more speed by the time you're able to use it.
You are indeed, yeah, but Magic Cannon just managed to hold him off this time around. Then Parser's also going to be right there as well, I think, at the start of this next lap in the terms of the DRS. Just saw Blair Grills and Sir Penguin have a decent battle, but Blair Grills is in 10th place, 2 seconds behind Angel versus Death in 9th then. And here we go, Magic Cannon's already having to go a bit defensive as he approaches the final corner. And Bazza is absolutely guaranteed to have a run, although, look, Magic Cannon is in 60% DRS, and Bazza is in the 20s.
Yep, here we go then. The run down to turn number 1. It comes. Magic Poop Cannon doesn't go defensive. I think on this occasion he's going to have to concede, but we've got a long, long way to go. 26 laps still remaining in this race. Anything could still happen, Dan. And Magic Poop Cannon, he almost felt like losing his front wing on lap number 4.
Got Mr. John going for a move as well, in 11th place further down the field on Sir Tom Penguin, and he makes that stick as well. Parset is right on the back of Magic Poop Cannon, but does not go for it into that corner. Mr. John and Sir Tom Penguin are having a decent battle. Mr. John stays in 11th place, and Cena is still all over the back of Say Sports, and Parset is closed in on Magic Poop Cannon.
Yeah, Parza, great situation at the moment for him on the battery deployment. Bazza is the one who's struggling out of all of these guys, and he could be under track from both of these two come turn one this time around. Bazza, moving from Red Bull in last season in TGP2 now to the Mercedes, could be under pressure from a Red Bull very soon. But Dan, are we going to see a double move from Parza?
Well, we're going to see Parza certainly have a go at Magic Poop Cannon. Magic Poop Cannon is not using DRS.
Oh, here he goes!
And Parza's going to go for it.
Here he goes, up the inside, and he can only get past one of them. He can't get past Bazza. Bazza, I don't know how he held on. Unbelievable stuff, but he's gone a bit deep.
I mean, I don't know if it was my game was glitching or something, but Magic Poop Cannon was not using DRS down that straight, and I'm pretty sure he had it. But now Parza's going for the lead, Mike.
Yeah, here we go, Parza around the outside, coming into what is effectively turn number 4, but he can't get the move done. Bazza just about holds around, but Parza has done the whippity-wop, the flop-swap, and around the outside, coming to the end of sector number 2. He has the lead, and Poop Cannon spun!
He's off, and he's going to lose a load of position. He has to try and rejoin in 6th place. His teammate, his teammate has to dive out of the way there, nearly causing a huge accident, an expensive accident for Alfa Romeo. But Blown Wheelnut goes into 6th place. Magic Poop Cannon down into 7th, and the guy who dominated qualifying. Meanwhile, Bazza's back on Parza at the front.
This is absolutely brilliant. Bazza moved into P number 1. Joe Sayer now moves into P3, and Cena is trying to look and get past, and he can't. Alex Afro is in a little bit of a race of his own at the moment in P5, but we could end up in a moment, Dan, with a 4-car battle for the lead.
Oh, this is fantastic stuff, isn't it? And we still don't really know how the pit stops are going to play out yet either. Parset is straight on the overtake, and he straight wants to get back past Bazza here, who's running very low on ERS. I don't think Parza can go for it into this corner, and no, he won't. But Magic Poop Cannon, wow, he needs to try and fight back, doesn't he? He's in 7th place, Blown Wheelnut's 3 seconds off 5th place even, Alex Afro. Alex Afro in a bit of a race of his own at the moment. Disaster for Magic Poop Cannon.
Look how close Parza is to Bazza. He's pushing him around every corner. He's changing gear for him. He's almost firing his cylinders for him. The Red Bull driver. Oh, I thought he was going to try and move into the last corner there, but thankfully he thought better of it, because that could have ended in tears. But surely we're going to have a change for the lead into turn 1, Dan.
I think we will. Although Bazza's doing a little bit of a dance down the straight, look, weaving about, and Parza's joining him. And will Parza go for the move? He will go for the move. And, well, it's like a slow motion into turn 1. It takes a huge amount of care, but Bazza sticks it and stays out ahead. Great
battling. Great stuff from these drivers. And we've still got 23 laps to go of it. Absolutely extraordinary. Are we going to see a move in the run down to, I'm going to call it turn 5, because we've got that little kink, haven't we? No, we don't. And it's still as we were. Got yellow flag further around into sector number 1, which is quickly cleared.
Yeah. It was, sorry, Mike, it was Tom Penguin who went off, but we should say very quickly, I've got the chance, we do have Chris Johnson and Jacko back in the lobby.
Yeah, good stuff, well spotted, Dan. Meanwhile, further back, Neljak has got his way past Blown Wheelnut, so Alex Coates on a bit of a recovery drive, poor qualifying from him, but up to P7 at the moment in the McLaren.
So then, is Parza going to go for it again? Then they're both running very low this time on ERS. In fact, Bazza has more ERS than Parza at this stage. But still, he might go for it. He will go for it. Hard on the brakes again. A huge amount of curb once again. And it's almost like an action replay of the previous lap.
Cena as well, putting some serious pressure on Joe Sayer behind at the moment. Still, as they were, these two starting to drop back a little bit from our leading pair. Bazza's fraught defence at the moment somehow is holding on to P1, but we've got a long way of this race to go, and he's got a bit wide, and Parza has got the move done finally.
Wow, nice move then by Parza. I didn't see it happen entirely there, but did they touch? Didn't touch, did do anything? No, so they're all still good, and they're all
I don't think they did. My camera wasn't exactly very good either, so I can't categorically say yay or nay there, Dan. But look further back, Cena, all over the back of Joe Sayer.
It is, yeah. These two have been stuck right together as well, haven't they? I've been watching these two out at the front. Cena looks really close this time to Joe Sayer. Can Bazza close in on Parza this time? I think Bazza is closed in on Parza, and I think Bazza might try and get him back. but he can't.
Oh, Cena's going for it. Is he? He is. He is. It was a late lunge. Joe didn't really see it coming. Turned in, made it tight for him, but Cena's going to hold it around the outside. Is he? Through turn 3, there's contact. One of them's in the gravel, and Joe Sayer just about holds on to P3 for the moment.
Well, I tell you what, they were both lucky there that they did not slide straight to the right there and end up in the barrier. I don't know how they avoided a big accident there, but Cena's going to try and get him now into this turn 5. Joe Sayer's going to try and stick it around the outside. They're going to be side by side there. Yeah, this is going to be tight.
Yep, Cena round the outside gets the job done. Joe, I was just about to say, with plenty of experience under his belt, probably knew best not to fight that one for now and just to hold it out a little bit there. Jacko, who has rejoined the race, as we said, but picks up a penalty further back. And we now head into the end of lap number 9 to start lap number 10. And we're a third of the way through this race, Dan, and we still don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, and we have got Blown Wheeler, who pitted on that previous lap and put the hard tyres on, so that would suggest he's going to the end on hard tyres. And is that an Alpha pitting as well? It's Magic Poop Cannon is coming in. Yeah. So he had that spin early on, didn't he? And now he decides to go into the for a stop. Can he go to the end on medium tyres? He could try it, but it'll be difficult.
I'm just trying to think when Bazza last won a TGP2 race.
I'm not sure. It must have been.
I don't know either. I think if he's had a win, which I'm sure he must have done, he probably only had about 1 or 2, and it would be a fair way ago.
Oh, Sayer Sports is sorry, Mike. Sayer Sports just got back around Cena the same way that Cena passed Sayer Sports on the previous lap.
Yep, great stuff from Joe. You rightfully mentioned there, obviously, Dan, with Blown Wheel not pitting. Tyres are going to come into a factor now as we head into this 1/3 mark. I thought Cena's going to have a look into the final corner there. He certainly thought about it, didn't he, Dan?
But Parser is coming in. So Parser's in then. Bazza stays out. The Magic Poop Cannon also went onto the hard tyre, so did not want to risk the mediums. We'll see what Parser does. Cena's gaining on Sayer Sports, though. We have a second place. Chris Johnson's gone again. Chris Johnson's left the session once again. And Parser also puts the hard tyres on.
Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Our championship leader. I was about to say Alex Afro's closing in on these two, and then he goes and picks up a penalty. So that's not gone very well for him. Parser rejoined in P9, just behind the P8 now, because he's just got past Chris Johnson, who isn't actually here. So total net lost in the pits. Let's have a quick look at that. It's going to be quite interesting to see. It was 21.5 seconds.
Okay, yes, and so Bazza, will he pit then this lap? We saw him, he stayed out a bit longer, didn't he, in Austria, and it ended up working out for him, of course, but it's a little bit of a different scenario this time around, and we'll see if he comes in, and is he going to come in, he's going to dash the right, he does indeed. He has to make sure he does not break the speed limit as he slams on the brakes, and he does not do that. And Sayer Sports is coming in, and Cena. Sayer Sports has got a penalty.
Oh, Joe, you need to stop getting penalties tonight, son. And Bazza was held. Bazza was held.
He was. Bazza was definitely held, and Parser is coming around the final corner. And I think Parser, is he going to take the lead once again here?
I think he must do. Bazza's not even at the end of the... yeah, he does, comfortably.
Yeah, he easily does.
Wow.
Easily goes into the lead then, Parser. And who's that? Is that Stereogram? Is that Stereogram?
It is Stereogram.
Stereogram out here. He's got to beat Stereogram out, and he does just about.
Oh, Joe's facing his nemesis again, Dan.
Stereogram nearly went for it there on Bazza. And I tell you what, Stereogram's going to have DRS, isn't he? Yeah.
What's happened to Cena?
Cena has gone down to 10th place. He must have got caught up in this traffic with Jacko and Tom Penguin coming out the pit lane.
Not ideal. I mean, he's ahead of Patrick Buchan still, who's just been passed by Blair Grills on 11-lap older tyres. Not covering himself in glory at the moment, as Neljak leads in the McLaren, and who doesn't pit, and he gets his lap of glory. So Alex Coates then, are only one of 3 drivers still on the soft tyres in the lead of the race.
Yeah, so I didn't say because I was busy focusing on the guys at the front, but I can only imagine that it must have been tight coming out the pit lane with this Joe Sayer and Cena with Jacko and Tom Penguin, and effectively Cena lost out.
Yeah, I saw Cena, as Joe does dispatch Stereogram, I saw him have to wait a little bit for Alex Zaffro coming into the pits, but I didn't expect him to lose that much time, and Alex Zaffro all over the back of Cena as well, and so Tom Penguin massively helping out his teammate at the moment.
Parser gets into third place then, ahead of Mr. John, and Parser at the moment is set for his first victory in TGP2, isn't he, at this stage? Parser is 3.6 seconds, and that's just behind Mr. John right now. But
Cena's getting impatient further back. Sorry, Dan, to cut in there, but Cena's getting very impatient behind Alex Afro's teammate, and he's got Alex Afro all over the back of him. We've got a 5-car squabble at the moment. Some of these drivers have pitted and some of them haven't, and this is causing havoc for those who have. And Cena very late on the brakes and around the outside. He's gone very wide. He's gone to Saudi Arabia, Dan.
He has indeed, and he rejoins, and what's happened behind? This was very slow coming off the corner behind. It looked like they were Blair Grills and Alex Afro, and if it's allowed, seeing this just pull right up.
Yeah, something happened there, didn't it?
Yeah, there was definitely some sort of insight. I think possibly with Blair Grills maybe getting involved there, and it allowed Cena to pull away.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Alex Afro. Magic Poop Cannon must have got caught up with that somehow as well, because he's also lost time. He sent one to the inside of his teammate. Not being very friendly, the Saubers, tonight, are they? Not even Saubers, they're Alfa Romeos.
Yeah, they're certainly going for it, aren't they? It's Magic Poop Cannon probably quite frustrated with that spin that he had. In fact, and he's got damage as well, hasn't he, Magic Poop Cannon? I can see on his end plate there.
Yeah, he has.
So Magic Poop Cannon really struggling. It's the second race this season that Magic Poop Cannon has made an error independently while out in a good position in the race, as Neljak makes his pit stop finally on the soft tyres. And is he going to put the mediums on? Yeah, he is. So he might have pace it to the end here, but he's got to have a penalty to serve. I think he has.
No, I think it's only a 3-second penalty.
Okay. So yes, he's going to put the mediums on. Then Cena goes into 5th place on the road, and Stereogram goes off, so he might be able to get Stereogram fairly easily here.
Yeah.
Is he? Yes, he does.
Lost a lot of time though, hasn't he? 6 seconds behind Joe Sayer now.
Yeah, he's lost so much time at this stage of the race then. Alex Afro is just behind his teammate here, Tom Penguin. So Tom Penguin, of course, hasn't yet pitted in this race. Alex Afro very much has. So you imagine we're not going to make it too difficult for him, you would imagine. He's closing in, Alex Afro, and there we go. There goes the overtake. Alex Afro into 6th place, Tom Penguin into 7th. I'm surprised, I'm surprised we've got all 18 runners still in this race.
I can't believe it. We were there talking about safety cars before this race.
I know.
I don't think we've had a bodywork come off, apart from Magic Poop Cannon, who nicely makes his way past his teammate this time round.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really, isn't it? We've got 13 laps to go, and you have to say Parser is looking pretty comfortable out in front at the moment. As Magic Poop Cannon, has he got past Tom Penguin? Yes, he has.
He does.
But Wheelnut's going to try and follow him through here, and I wonder if you're going to call out for a second there.
Yeah, so there we go. Both Alfa Romeos dispatch a Renault. Oh my goodness gracious me! And Sir Tom Penguin just completely outbraked himself and just clouted the back of the Alfa Romeo. And Sir Tom Penguin definitely will have damage there, and he does. But yeah. I have no idea how Blown Wheelnut's still in this race. How either of them are still in this race. That was a huge whack. I think he almost forgot about turn 4.
Well, we did say it was going to happen at some stage, didn't we? As Neljak gets past Angel versus Death on those medium tyres, and Neljak going to the end, obviously, on the mediums. He's one of the few drivers, in fact, he's the only driver, I think, to put the medium tyres on at the pit stop. In fact, yeah, he is. Chris Johnson put the mediums on, but he's not in the race anymore, of course.
No, and we've got, obviously, Sir Tom Penguin still on the mediums as well, but he hasn't pitted yet, so great position for Alex Afro. This could work out in his favour. Very nice. Alex Afro, it's Alex Coates. Now Jack down in P10 at the moment, but perhaps with a strategy advantage.
Yeah, very much so. Indecisive is 14 laps on those hard tyres ahead to him. He had to pit very early on in this race, presumably for damage, so it shouldn't be too difficult for Neljak to overtake there. Bazza, meanwhile, it's not getting a gap between Parser and Bazza at the moment, but it's a big one. It's a big gap at this stage, and there is 12 laps to go. And again, Parser is looking good at the moment, as Magic Poop Cannon picks up a penalty. Yeah,
not ideal for Magic Poop Cannon. As we're riding on board them with Alex Coates, now Jack in P10 at the moment. He's having a great time of it at the moment in TGP GT, which you can catch every Tuesday evening. The racing league that we take part in on TGP GT. Both Dan and myself take part. I say take part. I'm quite bad.
Yeah.
And Dan's
well,
been
we
very
both
unlucky.
spin multiple times.
Yeah, Yeah. So I say we take part. We just sort of attend, really. Alex Coates, meanwhile, has had a great season, and he's going to try and make a move on Indecisive Mackie as they move up into the top 10 with Stereogram's pit stops. And this is going to be quite easy for Alex Coates, you would have thought. And he moves up into P8 and can now be unleashed to go and chase the Alfa Romeos.
Good stuff then for Jack. Yeah, we'll see if he can get up to those Alfa Romeos. It's still Magic Buchanan at the moment who has the fastest lap. And, well, fair play to Blown Wheelnut, though, by the way. His pace in this race has been really decent, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been very good. Yeah, more than a match at the moment, and he finds himself in a good position. The field very much spread out at the moment. We've got Jacko just 3 tenths behind Breezer, our closest battle on track at the moment. I think this is not going to be a battle for very much longer. Jacko breezes past Breezer. I'm sure that wasn't why he came up with his name, but I'm going to use it in that fashion now, so apologies. And actually, I have to say, I've been impressed with Blown so far, but he's not. His teammate's got quite a fair bit of damage up in front, and he's not really catching him.
That is a good point, yeah. Oh no, I thought he totally lost the front wing, Magic Buchanan there, but he has still got a front wing. It's just the black front wing sort of covering her up there, and he's having to be careful with his fuel as well, I can see. On his telemetry, Magic Buchanan getting a bit of a fuel warning at this stage, but Blown Wheelnut still 1.6 left. Yeah, not really closing in massively, is he? And Neljak actually isn't closing in too much yet on the Alphas either at this stage on the medium tyres. But this is the first of the 50. I said Tom Penguin's at the fastest lap at the back of the field on the soft tyres. I wonder if he can get under a minute at some point, but 9 laps to go yet. So we've got another 50% race around Silverstone coming up in a couple of weeks. That one also should be interesting, especially with the never-ending pit lane that they have there. Yeah,
huge time loss to be taken into account on what is a very short circuit with the Silverstone short. So I doubt. I think a bit like tonight, everyone will be trying to gear towards a one-stop. It would surprise me if we do see as many drivers as we have so far keep to a one-stop. As we got an incident, have we, Dan?
I'd say Tom Penguin has spun. Out. Then if he was pushing for the fastest lap, but around he goes, and Parser may well be about to lap him in a moment. But so we got Chris Johnson in 14th place. Then I think if he stays in 14th, he is back in the session.
He is, yeah.
So I think he'd pick up a couple of points under the Jose point system. I think
1 point at the moment.
Would be 1 point. Magic Buchanan would be 6th, which would that be 10 points on Magic Buchanan? So he would keep the lead of the championship at this stage, Chris Johnson.
It would be 9 points for Magic Buchanan, I think. My maths.
9 points for Magic Buchanan. Basil would get 18. So I think Basil would be right up there as well, right, very close.
Buchanan, sorry. Yeah, this is going to be close at the top if things stay as they are, isn't it? This is going to be really close.
Basil will gain a lot. Could be looking at a Mercedes battle, possibly. Two Mercedes driver battle for the championship as well. Dom will be quite happy, I imagine, to see the championship leader struggle in this race, who, of course, as you say, isn't here. So he will not have wanted just one driver to just dominate tonight and just win both races. It would be ideal if the points were sort of spread out for him, with him not being here tonight.
Yeah, Dom will, wherever he's watching this from, I'm sure will be relatively pleased with the proceedings so far as Parza starts lap number 22. We've got 8 laps remaining, and I think it still could be anyone's. Things can change very quickly on a track like this, and if we do end up with a safety car or a VSC, that could throw things up in the air completely.
It could indeed, yes. As Chris Johnson just got past Breeze into 13th, and Blair Gills gets past. Blair Gills got past Stereogram, but then Stereogram now gets past Blair Gills. And
Blair Gills is going to have a spin, and he has a nice little pirouette there.
And Blown Wheelnut is pit. That's a shame. He's in a good position as well.
Look at Angel versus Death. Michael Kenny is coming alive this race. Up into P8. Puts a move on Indecisive Mackie. He's on much, much older tyres. But Michael Kenny then up into P8. Great stuff.
I don't think he had to make that pit stop there, Blown Wheelnut. I don't think he did. So, bit of an odd one. As Indecisive is coming back at Angel versus Death here to get into 8th place. What a battle these guys are having. Angel versus Death goes straight back ahead as Indecisive goes off the track. He versus death back into 8th then, which would be an excellent result for him, as you mentioned. And Dom is watching, I believe. I've just been sent a message. He's watching from his hospital bed, and he is delighted to see Chris towards the back of the field in this race.
Yeah, this is great stuff. And we saw it flash up at the bottom of the screen there. Bazza picks up a 3-second penalty, but at the moment, Sayer Sports also has a penalty, so it won't affect him too much. We've got Mackie, who's going to try and come back at Mikey. Are they going to be a move into turn number 1? The AlphaTauri driver thinks better of it on his 20-lap-old tyres. 20 laps.
Yeah, it is. I don't really know how he's managing to do that. Well, I suppose it's a hard tyre, so they probably do go quite long. But yeah, he pit early on, didn't he? I think he got damaged early on in the race. But we're going to be 4 races into this season, and if it stays like this, I think I'm right in saying that the pole sitter is yet to actually then go on to win the race.
I think it'd be a fantastic effort if Magic Poopkang could win this one now. So I'd say that prediction is pretty safe.
Yeah, as Breeze has just gone for a spin, as Blair Grills is in 17th and is pitting once again. It seems a bit odd, but Blair Grills.
Oh, we got Jacko on the move again, Dan. This time on his teammate. Oh, we got a first retirement. Way! It's taken 24 laps, just over 25 minutes, and we got our first retirement.
And the Stereogram's also on to the race. Now, and safety car!
Whoa! This is huge! This is huge!
5 laps to go.
Michael Massey waited as long as he could, didn't he, Dan?
He did indeed. Stereogram lost it at what is usually turn 12, so turn 7 here. And we have a safety car with 5 laps to go. Well, I don't think it's worth pitting, is it really? You wouldn't want to pit at this stage.
I don't know. We're a few laps to go. You want fresh tyres, I would have thought, and Baz has decided to do that.
And Parser stayed out. Sayer Sports is also going to stay out, so Baz is definitely going to lose one position.
No.
Stina is also staying out. Well,
Alex Afro's pits.
Alex Afro comes in.
And surely Poopcan is going to pit and get rid of that damage, you would have thought. Yes, he does.
Yeah, yes, he does indeed. He does indeed. So Bazza is going to come out in 4th place on a fresh set of soft tyres. The finale.
This was blown wide open. Bazza does have a 3-second penalty, remember? So I think this was his best option. He's got to go on the attack. We've got a few drivers funneling into the pits now as well. Neiljack stayed out, so he's up to P5 on medium tyres at a 9 laps old. Mr. John's up to P6. Alex Afro, P7. He's on mediums as well, new mediums.
Yeah, it's close coming out the pit lane between Alex Afro and Jacko there, but Alex Afro just managed to sneak ahead. But Blair Wheel not in 9th, then Magic Poopcan out in 10th. Chris Johnson pits as well. And the safety car is coming around the final corner. And I think we'll stay out for one more lap.
Yeah.
So Parser ahead then. Sayer Sports in 2nd with that penalty. But look at Say Tom Pegg and Red Bull Kim here. Could they distract things a little bit? One of them's pitting. So, I tell you what, Parser might have to send a thank you note to Red Bull Kim for this restart, because it looks like he's going to be in the way in terms of Sayer Sports having an attack on Parser to restart.
Yeah, that's worked out nicely for Parser. But his main worry has got to be Bazza. Because
for sure.
I don't think we're going to have... I reckon we're probably going to have about half the field catch the safety car, the way this is going at the moment.
Yeah.
But Bazza's in a great position.
Red Bull Kim has been given a penalty for a collision with Parser. I thought he was slowing down there to let Sayer Sports through, but he has not. But yeah, I think we're probably going to have the safety car in this lap. I hope we have the safety car in this lap.
So do I.
And
3-lap shootout, Dan. Did you order that? I think we did.
Well, yeah. It's
delivery for 2. I'll take it. You're paying.
It's going to be very nice to see. It's going to be very nice to see, isn't it?
This is going to be brilliant.
It turns the lights off. Of course, there's a big chance as well for Chris Johnson to make up a few more positions, although he is at the back of a 4-car queue of drivers who've just fit new softs on.
He's not going to catch the safety car, look, Dan, though. He's only just gone to the back straight. If I was Parser now, I would be right on the back of this safety car, get to the line as soon as possible.
Is it going to be in this lap? It might not be. We usually with know by now. So it's going to stay out one more lap.
Wow. That's well, we got a 2-lap dash then. I don't think that's going to give Bazza enough time, and it's certainly not going to give enough time to break. We're going to have a Red Bull 1-2 at this rate, Dan, with penalties.
I think you could be right, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. The two drivers, Pastor and Cena, who...
And then it's Mr. John.
It is. It could be 2 podiums for Mr. John in the season so far. He got the podium in the second place in Abu Dhabi, and he could get another podium in the second race of the night here in Bahrain. He likes the night races, doesn't he? Taking part in the Middle East. This is incredible.
Great stuff. We could have a real thrilling last 2 laps to this race. Place your bets in the chat. Bet Noon won't pay out, but we're interested to see what you want. We've got Red Bull Kim in the way, who I'd have thought won't stay in the way for very long. Bazza, fresh softs, and then drivers in front of him. Cena, Sey Sports, Parza on old hards. And
that Sey Sports penalty is for speed. That's a 5-second penalty for Sey Sports.
I'd forgotten that. That's a good shout.
The standard 3-second one. Here we go. Safety car is coming in this lap then.
Well,
this is going to be exciting, Mike.
Fasten your seatbelts. We've got 2 laps, which are going to take about 2 minutes. I have no idea who's going to win this race in just over 2 minutes' time. If anyone does, great effort. This is going to be brilliant. Parza following my advice, keeping as close as he can to that safety car. And we're watching Bazza because he's going to be the big mover here, surely. Everyone is charged up to full, and here we go. Oh, are we?
Oh, it's very close. Look at the wheels are going forward.
Oh, here comes Bazza. Look at Bazza. We got front wing flying everywhere. Cena's dropped back. It was a messy restart, but Bazza is already where he needs to be, but with damage.
It's like the start of the Grand National. It's carnage as they're going to try and get through turn 1. Bazza's already right on the back of Parza. I think a few cars just went wide there. Sey Sports has got a 5-second penalty with no yellow flag, overtaken at the restart, and Bazza's right on Parza.
Here we go then. On the back straight to what is effectively turn number 6 round the outside. Is he going to brave it? He's got so much better tyres. Parza just needs to keep his head and keep within 3 seconds, and the win will be his.
He's got to try and pull.
Oh, he's gone!
Parza's off! Unbelievable.
I don't believe it. He has been in control of this race from start to finish, and now he's causing accidents, and down in P8, Chris Johnson's in P10.
He had the win in the bag. He had the 5-second lead, as you say, and he makes the error. And Bazza is in the lead. Sey Sports is second. Cena is third. But is Cena going to win the race if he can stay within 3 seconds of Bazza? Sey Sports got the 5-second penalty. Mr. John is in a great place at the moment.
And look at this battle for P5.
Yeah, Neljak stays into P5.
Yep. And Zafro's going to come back at him and thinks better of it. We've got just over a lap to go, and everything's going on, is the easiest way to describe it. Here comes Parza back at Magic Poop Cannon. There's contact. Parza's getting messy.
Yeah, we tried to go for a move, but couldn't make a step on Magic Poop Cannon. So Cena is 3.8 seconds behind Bazza. I think Bazza's going to do this, you know. I think Bazza is going to win this race.
I can't believe it. He just needs to keep it on the black stuff, not get another penalty, and the win is his. Cena is 3.6 behind him, so he's close within 6 tenths in 2 corners. We said we can't remember the last time that Bazza will win a race. We'll certainly remember this one. He's got 1 corner to go. The Mercedes driver has come through it all. He made a risky strategy call, but it was the right one to do. And Bazza wins at Bahrain short. What a race we were treated to there. We said we didn't know who was going to win, but I didn't think it would be that unpredictable. Parza in the end gets his way back up into 4th once penalties were applied.
Chris Johnson was 5th. Chris Johnson got 5th in the end. He wasn't here for half of it.
Unbelievable. This is huge for the championship. Mr. John on the podium again. He said he only wanted 1 podium at the start of the season. We've heard that before, and the last driver to say that went and got the title.
Yeah, very true. And wow, what an amazing race that was. Parza is going to be so disappointed. He's going to be fuming with how that ended up. But he lost it, and he lost it all by himself, didn't he? But that safety car restart is certainly going to be looked at. I don't know if it was a case of Parza just going too slow and trying to minimise the length of the straight and ends up catching him out, or if it was a game glitch. But in the end, he made an error independently, and it's going to put him into 4th place in this race, and Bazza takes the victory. despite having that penalty.
I need a strong drink after that one. That's fantastic. What an entertaining end to the race we had there. It was a little bit messy, but by gosh, was it enjoyable. Let's give you a rundown of the provisional finished race order then. So we got Baza finally wins this season. What a championship stamp that is for Baza as well. This could put him in the lead of the championship. Cena finishes in second place with Mr. John in third. Another podium for John. That's great stuff. Parza, who has led pretty much all of the race in P4. Chris Johnson, great recovery for him in P5. Neljak P6. Poop Canada posted in P7. Alex Afro in P8. Blown Wheel up P9. Indecisive Mackie P10. Angel versus Devil. Joe Sayre benefiting from his own point system P12. Jacko 13th. And Rebel Kim gets a point in 14th.
And Seiton Penguin got fastest lap as well. He finished 16th, but he held on to that fastest lap.
Yeah, he won't get the point for it, but he has the bragging rights, which is good stuff.
Absolutely.
Really good stuff. Dan, I would ask you to summarise that race now, but I don't think we got long enough.
It's very difficult to do so, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna.
It was much like, I tell you what, that was much like the Bahrain Outer Loop race in real life. It was exciting at the start. There was a bit of a lull. We had a safety car, and everything changed. But unlike that, we did have a Mercedes win this time.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, the Mercedes didn't mess up the pit stop at the end and actually put the soft tyres on and come through and won the race for Baza, and he will be delighted with that. I think Chris Johnson finishing 5th. Will probably help keep him in the lead of the championship, maybe. Still a decent finish, isn't it, for Chris Johnson in the end?
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's true.
It's certainly going to close things up, and what an exciting night of racing. Once again, that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, Dan, thank you for having me. And I'm handing the commentary duties back over to Andy for next week. But Dan, just before we go, your driver of the night, if I may ask.
Well, I'm always tempted to just say Mr. John because he got that podium at the end. So I'm going to give it to Mr. John once again, because everybody went crazy last week.
At what point does a John podium not become surprising this season?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. If he gets 3 in a row, gets another one next week, that would quite amazing, wouldn't it? But yeah, he will be over the moon with that. But I've thoroughly enjoyed these races. Chris Johnson, I think that win in Austria was so dominant, wasn't it? Even though having to make that early stop, did not expect that to happen after lap 1 of that race. And he will probably keep the championship lead. Be able to see the championship standings on the TGP website.
Yep, and Jean, of course, called the strategy on this one. So kudos to Jean. He said late safety car, soft tyres will win the race, and the late safety car with soft tyres won the race. So great stuff there. Well, thank you all for joining us. I hope you were just as excited with the end of that last race as we were. We had 2 cracking races actually tonight, and we look forward to hopefully many more of this season. This season with so many twists and turns already, I'm sure we'll get many more over the remaining 9 weeks that you've still got to put up with us in your ears. But it's very much not putting up with us at the moment. We've got some great races happening. We're going to 2 very different tracks next week, Belgium and Japan. Dan and Andy will look forward to seeing you there. This has been a TGP Series production, and we look forward to seeing you on PS4 soon.